Before we start the session, I would request all the members to please rise for motto.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्द्वैता 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 एतद्द्वैता.
Yes, members. So today we have with us Nilesh Bhai, our BCSC member, core committee member, who is going to take us through income tax return filing, amendments and practical issues. This being a very hot topic, so we can expect some without wasting much of your time, I would request Nilesh, Ashwin Bhai to briefly introduce him.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce today's speaker, CA Nilesh Bhai Vasa. He is practicing chartered accountant since 1997 in the name of NB Vasa and Company. He has major core field in the income tax, GST and TDS working. He is past convener of our BCSC study circle. He was co-opted member of CSR committee of WIRC for the year financial year 25-26. He is also presently co-opted member of Direct Tax Committee of WIRC for the year 26-27. He is also present co-opted members of Tax Audit and Quality Review Board of Committee of ICAI for 26-27. At present, Secretary of Sri Shwetambar Murti Pujak Jain Sangh Borivali. He is also conceptualized networking and knowledge sharing with CA fraternities and delivered various lectures at WIRC and study circle for CA members, and also organized various successful events for fraternities like refresher course, sports leagues and various other cultural activities. I now request to present memento on behalf of BCSC and all present members here. And also request to present CABF contribution receipts. Thank you. I now request Nilesh Bhai to proceed for the lecture. Thank you.
Good morning, members. In fact, first time, a very, very early good morning to everyone. Actually, it is an opportunity. Yesterday, Vaibhav Suryavanshi got to debut in international, the youngest player Today it's a privilege in the history of BCSE. I got the opportunity to deliver a lecture the youngest time ever, 8 o'clock. Okay, good morning, friends. Really thankful that so many people are here at 8 o'clock in the morning for this lecture. Now, shall we start, everyone? Yes, thank you. Now, before I start the lecture, this is one disclaimer. ये disclaimer क्यों लिखना पड़ता है? Everyone knows, because the biggest problem is law is supreme, everything is proper. लॉ में बहुत कुछ लिखा होता है, लेकिन पोर्टल 100% डजंट कॉपरेट द लॉ. द बेसिक एग्जांपल लास्ट ईयर इन 2024-25 फाइनेंशियल ईयर, everywhere it was written that rebate on short-term capital gain is allowed. That the small rebate was of 20,000 rupees, and everywhere it was written that it is allowed. But if you have filed the return before 5th July, आपको मिलेगा. If you have filed return after 5th July, आपको नहीं मिलेगा. Then lots of things happen. Under section 143(1) it was not given. If you revise the return under section 154, it was not given. किसी को भी वो rebate नहीं मिला था. Nobody got that rebate. But we have members here. I think Jayan Bhai is over here. फिर उन्होंने अपील किया for that mere 8,000 rupees or whatever may be. Appeal was cleared and he got the benefit. अभी now everywhere where the question comes, ये ऐसा कैसा law है कि initially while filing the return you don't get the benefit, लेकिन अगर अपील करोगे तो मिलेगा. So it should not be that way. You should get that rebate. But anyway, practically everyone knows that for that mere 20,000 rupees, nobody will go into appeal. Because anyway, 20,000 was the highest limit. किसी का 2,000 होगा, किसी का 5,000 होगा, किसी का 10,000 होगा. So for that reason, why I have written disclaimer before I left the home, जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वही law था. मेरे जाने के बाद क्या होगा पता नहीं है. So this is the law, this is the portal, this is the utility as on date, because they keep on amending the utility if there are some bugs. Obviously, it is for good thing if some error comes and they rectify it. Otherwise, this is what as of now. Okay, so now 2000 financial year 2025-26. What we say as a financial year is the last time we will say financial year. Assessment year 26-27. From next year, it is definitely tax year 26-27. So first time ever, we will have same year but two names. This year, it is called tax 26-27. Last year, it was assessment year 2027. And the small thing, which is the landmark decision, that up to 12 lakh rupees, you don't have to pay tax. Now, ये उन्होंने बता दिया था 12 lakhs rupees. Everyone was initially in the confusion, sir, what is 12 lakhs? मतलब including short term, long term, excluding short term, long term, including exempt income or including other incomes. Nowhere it is written that it is 12 lakh rupees is purely only normal income. But now it has been, the utility has been checked, and everywhere the 12 lakh rupees is the normal income what you get the rebate of 87A, that is 60,000 rupees what you get as of now, because the tax on up to 12 lakh rupees is 60,000 rupees. So that is a rebate. Only normal income. So now special income and anything else is not considered in 87A rebate. But there are exceptions, then we will come as when we proceed the slides. So now just for within 5 minutes we'll brief up. I think everyone knows this law because anyway the return filing has started और आपने 2-4 return भर भी दिए होंगे. But still in the old regime the exemption limit is 2.5 lakh rupees, then 3 lakh rupees and 5 lakh rupees for a super senior citizen. For in old regime, a new regime, the limit is 4 lakh rupees. Up to 4 lakh rupees, you are not supposed to compulsory file the return. But if you file the return, it is only thing that for loans, for visa, for a proper trail of proper income tax, powerful your status. For that reason, we used to file the return. Otherwise, if the income is less than 4 lakh rupees, you are not compulsory supposed to file the return. Even if you have a TDS refund, sometimes you have a refund, say your income is only 1 lakh rupees, you have a TDS of 10,000 rupees, still you want that refund, definitely you have to file the return, because before filing the return, you will not get this thing. Okay. So now, the basic difference between new regime and old regime, as of I think first year when it came, 80% were in new regime, 20% were in old regime. Then 95% were in new regime, 5% old regime. I presume this year I think 99% will be new regime, only hardly 1% will be old regime. Old regime, the only one thing, the biggest trigger why people go in old regime is only HRA. This is the biggest higher point trigger. Because of HRA, people have to go to old regime. फिर वो छोटा मोटा जो है ATC, ATD, all these benefits are hardly 3-4 lakh rupees. Say 1,50,000 mediclaim, your parents' mediclaim, NPS, donation, all these things will never be more than 8 lakh rupees. कभी हो नहीं सकता है. So if your income is 25 lakh rupees and if you have deductions more than 8 lakh rupees, then only you can say that मेरे को old regime अच्छा पड़ेगा. Otherwise it is only new regime. Secondly, the deductions, there are lots of things. आपको deduction में बहुत कुछ दिखाना है, लेकिन in 12 lakh rupees, there are nothing you have to prove. You have to just claim up to 12 lakh rupees, there is no tax. Now, in new regime, you don't get any of the benefits, except there is one benefit, that is 80 CCD2, NPS. And that also if it is paid by the employer, not by the employee. Just be careful. 80 CCD section, see, what I will do, I will not go into the nitty-gritty of that section. 80 CCD 1, it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, बहुत कुछ है, 1A. आपको ये देखना है 80 CCD 2. It is only relevant because it is paid by the employer. If a salaried person want to get the benefit of this NPS, then he has to tell his employer, sir, आप भरो मेरे लिए, I will not pay it. If you are paying, you will not get that benefit in new regime. If the employer is paying, you will get the benefit in new regime. So that is the only deduction apart from 75,000 standard deduction. Apart from that, आपको एक भी deduction new regime में नहीं मिल रहा है. But the limit is 12 lakh rupees and old regime the limit is 2.5 lakh rupees. So you can see the very difference. ये difference breach कर सकता है एक ही आदमी, वो है HRA plus your housing installments, your interest on housing loan, ये सब अगर complete करके, if you are crossing that limit, and you obviously everyone must be comparing कौन सा मुझे अच्छा है, old या new regime. Only one thing, how many of you file the return from portal online directly? Anyone? Okay, good amount. Yeah, fine. Because normally when you file online, it is not that obviously it is 100% secure and safe, but it takes too much time because in all the options उनको दिया होता है, you have to select all the options, you have to say, सब कुछ वहाँ पे एक साथ में नहीं मिलता है, where आपको जहाँ पे दिमाग नहीं लगाना है ना, वो भी आपको वहाँ पे लगाना पड़ता है. Normally, majority people now use softwares, but I cannot say that software are supreme. Obviously, ITR जो भर रहे हो is not a problem. But in software, what happens? जहाँ पे आपको दिमाग नहीं लगाना होता है, वहाँ पे वो पूछता ही नहीं है आपको. When you put a PAN number, if that fourth alphabet is not P, वो खुद ही बता देगा कि sir, this is PAN number is wrong, this date of birth is wrong, bank account number, IFSC code, if the digits are not 7, वो बता देगा it is wrong. So you get lots of triggers in the software. In ITR filing, direct utility से कौन भरता है? Utility download करने के बाद उसमें भरते हैं. Okay, so if you sir, you must have seen that it is very, very, very tedious process because utility has been made with lots of macros. Those macros हमको पता नहीं चलता है when we file with the software. But जो macros होता है तो जैसे ही आप select करते हो, you're a male or female or senior citizen, whatever may be. When you put tick over there, you're filing in 139 or in a new section, वो घूमता है. फिर 2 मिनट में it will change all the slides, all the macros, and then the utility gets changed again. फिर आगे जाके कोई ऑप्शन है, are you on Portuguese law is applicable or not, are you having this that, again it goes change. So वो बहुत टाइम लगता है उसके अंदर. That's why the utility takes little more time, not little more time, much more time than you file it. But those who are filing, with due respect, not a problem. Those who are filing with online, it's not a problem. And in old regime, as I said, you get the benefit of everything. NPS also, it is rebate is only 12,500. Salaried person get deduction only for 50,000 rupees. And ATC, ATD, HRA, income tax, loan interest, home loan interest, NPS, all these benefits you get it. Now just a brief, tax slabs. Everyone knows, अभी ये याद रखना भी easy हो गया है, 0 to 4, 0, 4 to 8, 5%, 8 से 12, 12, 10%, 12 to 16, 15%, 16 to 20, 20%, 20 to 24, 25%. This is very easy to understand. This is old and new regime, it is 2,50,000 to 5 lakh 5%, then up to 10 lakhs 10%, 20%, and उसके above 30%. This is the basic slab. Now 4% cess दोनों side पे है. Second thing, capital gains are now, special income are taxed separately. On that you don't get the benefit of 87A. ये आप खाली याद रखना, उसमें भी आएगा. There is one exception. We will come when we proceed the slide. Capital gains 87A rebate is not there. That portal doesn't give. Actually, 12,500 initially, last year they were giving, but in new regime now they are in this portal this time. On old regime, the 12,500 rebate is not given. Actually, if it was given, it should be given only on short-term capital gain. Long-term में तो वैसे भी नहीं मिलता था. लेकिन portal till date also it is not given 12,000. Now God knows why it is happening that way, but उन्होंने portal कभी change किया ही नहीं. वो अब जैसे what I said, आप अपील करो आपको बाद में मिल जाएगा. लेकिन I think now government is very clear कि आपको वो refund नहीं मिलेगा, मतलब वो rebate नहीं मिलेगा आपको. Sorry, I went back side. Yeah, sorry. Now deadlines, everyone see, basically there were two deadlines. Anywhere when first time the slide came, it was written, if you are under non-audit, the date is 31st July. If you are under audit, the date is 31st August. Then they came with a notification that those who are non-audit cases, उसमें भी अगर आप ITR 1 or 2 फाइल करते हो तो 31st July है, and ITR 3 and 4 if you are filing, the date is 31st August. So whenever अगर आप ऐसे Google करोगे या something you will see, उसमें दो ही डेट लिखा था initially, audit, non-audit, July, October. Then they came with a notification or clarification that there are 2 dates for now for non-audit cases. So initially now it is ITR 1-2 is July, ITR 3-4 is August. One date I have not mentioned, that is filing of your tax audit report is 30th September and written filing is 31st October. So you have to file your tax audit report 3CB, 3CD, 3CA, all these things you have to file by 30th September. Anyway, when you file on 30th September, आपका balance sheet ready हो गया होता है. Only thing left is just filing a ITR or pay the tax, whatever may be. Otherwise on 30th August, once the balance sheet is there, your computation is not logged, but your balance sheets are logged because filing 3CB, 3CD, you have to submit the scanned copy of your financials. So वो ready नहीं होगा, तो anyway you cannot proceed it. Now transfer pricing cases, those who want transfer pricing, the date is 30th November. Belated return. Now this year, first time, initially last year, 31st December 25 was the last date. उसके बाद आप return भर ही नहीं सकते थे. If उसके बाद अगर भरना है, तो it was an updated return. This year they have what they have done, वो date वही रखा है. 31st December 26 is the belated return date. आप जुलाई, अगस्त या अक्टूबर या नवंबर कुछ भी अगर आपका निकल गया है, then you can file the return by 31st of December. One more date they have added that जो आपने रिटर्न भरा है, in that return अगर आपको कुछ भी corrections करने हैं, whatever you want to do a revision of that return, that can be done by 31st of March. The only one change they have done, up to 31st March तक आप वो रिटर्न रिवाइज कर सकते हो. If you say that मैंने भरा ही नहीं और मैं फरवरी में फाइल करूँ तो आप नहीं कर पाओगे. Return if filed before December can only be revised between January and March. Otherwise you cannot file the return. So obviously nothing to say that सबको मालूम है रिटर्न रेडी है नहीं है, 31st December को प्लीज भर देना. फिर वो उसको रिवाइज करने के लिए आपको 3 महीने का टाइम मिलेगा, लेकिन वो आपको रिवाइज 31st December को, बिकॉज सी नाउ बीइंग अ CAV एवरीवन नोज AIS TIS सर वो हमारा 95% काम तो कर देता है. आपको इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन टू पार्टीज है या जो बेसिक डिटेल्स है, जो कहीं भी ट्रिगर नहीं होता है, नाइदर इन जीएसटी लॉ, नाइदर इन टीडीएस लॉ, नाइदर इन एसएफटी लॉ, बिकॉज द थ्री थिंग्स मेक योर एआईएस, वन इज एसएफटी, वन इज टीडीएस, वन इज जीएसटी एंड वन इज स्टॉक मार्केट. ये चार चीज की वजह से पूरा एआईएस बनता है. सो एआईएस टीआईएस हैज एवरीथिंग नाउ. ओनली विच थिंग्स आर नॉट देयर, जो आपको ही मालूम है, जो आप कभी किसी को बताते ही नहीं हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम पेइंग इंटरेस्ट समबडी 3000 रुपीज, टीडीएस तो काटना ही नहीं था. देन वो 3000 रुपीज आपको क्लाइंट जब बताएगा तब मालूम पड़ेगा कि येस आई हैव रिसीव्ड द इंटरेस्ट, अदरवाइज आपको कभी नहीं मालूम पड़ेगा. सो बेटर ऑन 31 दिसंबर 95% तो 95% प्लीज फाइल द रिटर्न बिफोर 31 दिसंबर. ऑब्वियसली लेट फीस है, पेनल्टी वॉट, वो सब कुछ है, लेकिन that is the date you can file the return, because once you don't file the return then there are lots of problems. Updated return, last year in the slide I have given, updated return भले उन्होंने बोला है it is very costly to file updated return. कभी आपने किसी क्लाइंट का गलती से भी देख लेना, अपडेटेड रिटर्न है ना, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. उधर लिखा तो है अप टू 12 months it is 25% एंड अबाउट 12 to 40 it is 50%. वो 50% कभी नहीं होता है, वो 70-80% तक जाता है. क्योंकि when you file the return, just this slide will come, but I will, if in the flow, if I am covering something, then we will skip that slide. ITR return में when you file your updated return, say after 12 months, जो भी टैक्स आएगा, उसके ऊपर जो भी इंटरेस्ट आएगा, उसके ऊपर जो भी लेट फीस आएगा, उसका जो टोटल है उसका 50% आपको भरना है. आपके अमाउंट का 50% नहीं भरना है. से योर टैक्स इज 10,000 रुपीज, आपको लगेगा सर 15,000 में हो गया, नहीं होगा. 10,000 यू आर फाइलिंग आफ्टर 36 months, वो हो गया 15,000. 15,000 के ऊपर 234F जब लगता है वो हो जाएगा 20,000, और वो 20,000 के ऊपर 50% है. सो इट कम्स टू 30,000 रुपीज. सो दैट 10,000 विल बिकम 30,000. सो यू विल थिंक दैट और 50% इज वेरी इजी जॉब. नहीं, वो बहुत महंगा पड़ता है. यू अपडेटेड रिटर्न स्टिल यू डोंट हैव अ चॉइस. अगर किसी ने भरा ही नहीं है, इफ समबडी हैज मिस्ड इट आउट एंड स्टिल यू वांट टू फाइल द रिटर्न, यू डोंट हैव अ चॉइस, यू हैव टू फाइल अपडेटेड रिटर्न. Problem is I am on the platform and it is recording. Okay. See, there are lots of, I will not say, the word actually is in practice everyone knows it called hacks. वो कैसे करना है वो तो हमको मालूम है. ओके, सो दिस थिंग बहुत बार सुना है, सर आपने ड्यू डेट बढ़ाने के लिए आपने ऑडिट कर दिया, आपने ये कर दिया. ऑल द एक्सपर्ट्स वेर एवर आई हैव अटेंडेड इन अवर डायरेक्ट टैक्स कमिटी, सब लोग बोलते हैं सर ऐसा गलत मत करना, मत करना. सच्ची बोलूँ तो पोर्टल को ये मालूम ही नहीं पड़ता है. पोर्टल एक्सेप्ट्स योर रिटर्न, फिर वो असेसमेंट जब आएगा तब आपको देखना है. देन इट शुड नॉट बैकफायर. सो आई एम टेलिंग, हमको भी सही करना है. लेकिन देर आर लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स वेयर पोर्टल एक्ट्स डिफरेंटली, अवर लॉ एक्ट्स डिफरेंटली. वो पोर्टल में वो चल जाता है. ओके, सिमिलरली नाउ ITR 5 it is not out, but why I am putting this ITR 5 I have not mentioned. Somewhere, see, the biggest problem is that we also do Google it. जब हम गूगल करते हैं ना, लेकिन that is everything is very sure. Yesterday also Durgesh bhai told, sir 100% मत बिलीव करना. It is literally WhatsApp knowledge and Google knowledge, वो ठीक है, 90% knowledge मिल जाता है, लेकिन 10% is very difficult. Everywhere it was written that if you have a non-audit cases, the return filing is 31st July. So obviously I asked that what about ITR 5? ITR 5, if I am filing a partnership firm return, which is a nil return, it doesn't have any income. Say example, no profit, no sale, no turnover, no other income. तो मुझे कब भरना है? फिर initially it came that sir, anyway अभी return out ही नहीं है, इसलिए now they informed it is 31st of August because it is having a business income. So business income definitely, because भले वो income zero है, but it has a business income head. So because of that, the date is 31st August for ITR 5. Now the question again came, sir ITR partnership firm का return तो ITR 4 में भी भरा जा सकता है, because for a 44AD return you can file under ITR 4 also. So ITR 4 में भी if I am having a no income, then it तो मुझे कब भरना है? लेकिन अभी उन्होंने बता ही दिया है ITR 4 का डेट ही 31st August है. So now partnership firm return is either you are filing in 44AD or you are filing in normal ITR 5, the date is 31st August. Right? Now second thing, इतने सालों से every time it was said, those who are partners of the partnership firm, उनको हमेशा 30 days का grace time मिलता था to file the return. Last year also this thing happened. I think the date extend होते audit का this normal date was not 15 September, it extended for one day. It was 16th September 2025. उसके बाद then for audit lots of dates were there. Last date was 31st October, then it got extended to 12th November. So 12th November 2025 was the last date to file the return. And because of that trigger of 30 days, the partners who have partners of those partnership firm, uska date tha 12th December 2025. If everyone can recollect, it was 12th December 25. Now, this year, वो trigger 31st August वाले का निकल गया है. Now, if you are filing your partnership firm return on 31st August, आपको पार्टनर का रिटर्न भी 31st अगस्त को ही भरना है. यू कैन नॉट से कि सर उसके लिए मैं 30 सितंबर को भरूंगा. नहीं, अगर आपका पीएनएल 31st ऑफ अगस्त रात को 11:59 को रेडी होता है तो आपका पार्टनर का रिटर्न लेट हो गया. इफ यू कैन नॉट फाइल दैट रिटर्न, अदरवाइज इट इज 31st अगस्त. व्हाट बेस्ट थिंग यू गेट ऑन ऑडिट केसेस, उसमें ये फायदा ये हो सकता है कि 30th सितंबर एनीवेयर योर बैलेंस शीट इज रेडी, योर पार्टनरशिप रेम्यूनरेशन, इंटरेस्ट, एवरीथिंग इज रेडी, और उसको रिटर्न भरना है 31st अक्टूबर को. So वहाँ पे आप बोल सकते हो you get 30 days more time to file the return of a partners. Otherwise 31st October now is same date for partners also and for your partnership firm also or your audit also, whatever. That if say example direct LLP is there, everyone due date is now, those who are under audit is 31st of October and partners also is 31st of October. उसके 30 days का कोई grace नहीं मिलेगा. So you plan it if there are if a partnership firm having more than 10-15 partners, आपको पहले से प्लान करना है क्योंकि आपका एक रिटर्न वो 15 लोगों का रिटर्न अटका देगा अगर वो रेडी नहीं हो रहा है तो. I just told it is ITR 5 or ITR 4. There is a two choices. A return date is 31st August. Okay. अभी जस्ट आई टोल्ड वो क्या करना है, उसको बिजनेस में लेके जाओ और ट्रांसफर दिस इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेज. दैट फैसिलिटी यू हैव इन द रिटर्न, शो इन अदर हेड दिस टू जस्ट अवॉइड एनी प्रॉब्लम फॉर द पोर्टल. आप डायरेक्ट भी लिख सकते हो लेकिन बेटर है यू शो इट इन बिजनेस. देन देयर इज वन सेक्शन एनी इनकम शोड इन अनदर बिजनेस हेड्स, उसमें आप अदर सोर्सेज में लेके जाओ एंड देन यू शो इट. सो देन इट विल बी 31st जुलाई, 31st अगस्त. हाँ, अदरवाइज this scenario, see nobody has checked, ये मालूम पड़ेगा after some 2-3 months. If you file the return on 31st August and then they say that there is a late fee, ये हो गया वो हो गया, that nowhere it is written, neither in law it is written, neither portal ने कभी बोला है. ये अगर first, it will be first case अगर ये हुआ तो ऐसा. Now, before we start, first thing, 1961, what we are filing the return today for financial year 25-26, 26-27 assessment year, the act applicable is only 1961. आज हम वही बोलेंगे because now initially it was Income Tax Act 1961, Income Tax Rules 1962, which has got changed to Income Tax Act 2025, or you can say Income Tax Rule 2026. But that rule is applicable only after 1/4/26. So what we are going to file till November is pertaining to 1961 only. So don't get confused. अगर ये law change हो गया है तो मैं किस में आऊँगा, क्या करूँगा? It is purely 1961. So as on date, you have to file that only. All deductions, whatever sections were there in 1961 Act remains the same. There is no change. आज कुछ change भी हो गया है, लेकिन because we are filing for the last year and the Act was 1961, आपको वही करना है. Everything of 25 will not be in the picture till we file these returns. This is the ITR forms which were CBDT notified on 31st March. 31st July was the date. Then 48 months utility was given, updated for updated return. Now this is the complete list of ITR returns. In India we have 7 returns and updated return is the 8th one, what we call ITR U. दो return है, सहज और सुगम. ITR 1, just to brief, ITR 1, who can file ITR 1? Those who are not having any business income, those who are not having any long-term capital gain more than 1,25,000, those who are not having any agriculture income more than 5,000, those who are not having any income from house property. Now the only change, last year it was from 1 property, this year it was from 2 properties. So if you have income from 2 properties in under income from house property, you can file ITR 1. और मैंने utility check किया हुआ है. Now they have given, you can add this thing. If you put डिटेल्स ऑफ 1 हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, नीचे पूछा है एनी अदर, तो सेकंड भी ऐड कर सकते हैं. उन्होंने 2 का कॉलम दिया हुआ है. सो नाउ इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी अप टू 2 हाउसेस यू कैन शो इन ITR 1. अदरवाइज, अच्छा, एनी फॉरेन इनकम ITR 1 says no. If you are a director in any company, then also ITR 1 is no. business income it is no, agriculture more than 5,000 it is no, long-term capital gain more than 1,25,000 it's no. So only those people can file ITR 1. Long-term capital gain as I said last time also 125 इसलिए रखा हुआ है क्योंकि 125 तक कोई टैक्स ही नहीं है technically long-term capital gain में. So up to 125 you don't have to, you can file ITR 1. The biggest part, the benefit in ITR 1 is that उन्होंने ITR some members are taking photos and sir ये पूरा मेरे जाने के बाद obviously screen पे आ जाएगा. Your portal, your app, our website, you can just check from mobile also. आपको ये पूरा slide मिल जाएगा. So only biggest part is, best part is that say example my salary is 40 lakh rupees. I have only long-term capital gain which is 1 lakh rupees. So definitely I can file ITR 1, right? Okay. But वो ITR 1 में जो 1 लाख का long term है उसकी detail मुझे कहीं भी नहीं देनी है. Normally in ITR 2 and 3 you have to give details script wise. Which script, कब खरीदा था, कितने में खरीदा था, कब बेचा था, कितने में बेचा था, what is the long term ये. In ITR 1, so you can say that if your salary is 40 lakh rupees and your sale is 1 crore rupees and your purchase was 99 lakh rupees and your long-term capital is 1 lakh rupees, still you can file ITR 1 without giving any details. Because उन्होंने उसके अंदर वो कॉलम ही नहीं रखा है. लॉन्ग टर्म शॉर्ट टर्म बेनिफिट का पूरा डिटेल्स देने का उसमें कोई पोर्टल में वो कॉलम ही नहीं है. सी आप बोलोगे कि सर ऐसा कर दिया तो दे हैव लॉट्स ऑफ एवेन्यूज, आपका AIS से सब पता चल जाएगा. इफ योर AIS ऑल द ट्रांजेक्शंस आर ऑलरेडी देयर. इफ दे हैव डाउट समथिंग कि ये 1 लाख हो ही नहीं सकता है, इट इज मोर देन दैट, so then you have to face those consequences again. But if it is genuinely only 1 lakh long term capital gain or less than 1,25,000, definitely you can file the return in ITR 1. ITR 2 जो ITR 1 नहीं भर सकते हैं और जिसके पास business income नहीं है, all those people fall in ITR 2. ITR 3 it is a business income. ITR 4 is a presumptive under 44 AD, 44 ADA, 44 ADE, and all those partnership firm who want to file the return under presumptive category, those people can file this thing. Same one more thing to note, सर वो सबको मतलब बोला गया है कि 5 साल तक आप presumptive भरोगे तो आप इधर नहीं जा सकते, उधर नहीं जा सकते हो. See, it is definitely there, but पोर्टल में वो कब रिएक्ट करेगा, कब एक्ट करेगा, बिकॉज ये लॉ आते होते अभी 3-4 साल हुए हैं, अभी तक 5th ईयर कंप्लीट भी नहीं हुआ है व्हेन दिस थिंग केम. सो इफ यू समबडी से सर 20 और 21-22 में मैंने प्रिजम्पटिव भरा था और आज मैं ये चेंज कर दूं तो उनको पता चलेगा. I don't know, because that is the back end of the CPC, how they are analyzing your returns and everything. So just take care, if you are filing presumptive, you have to file the presumptive, and अगर आप opt करते हो तो फिर बाद में आप presumptive में नहीं जा सकते हो. ये everyone knows that. If you are now, आपको लगेगा नहीं मेरे को normal return file करना है. Say example, your turnover was 1 CR and last year आपने या 2 साल से your profit आप 6 लाख दिखा देते हो and you file presumptive. इस साल आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं मेरा तो 8 लाख का प्रॉफिट है, मैं ऐसे ही ITR 5 भर देता हूँ विथ नॉर्मल डिटेल्स, देन यू आर आउट ऑफ दैट प्रिजम्पटिव, फिर आप प्रिजम्पटिव में नहीं जा सकते हो नॉर्मली. हाँ, अगर आप ऑडिट करते हो तो क्वेश्चन ही खत्म हो गया. वंस यू ब्रेक दैट चेन, डेफिनेटली यू कैन अगेन गो इन प्रिजम्पटिव नेक्स्ट ईयर इफ यू आर ब्रेकिंग द चेन. यस मैम. No. Yeah. Then you have to file ITR 3. Yeah. Their column is there. Both the columns are there. In fact, if you realize, एक और column था ITR 3 में, if you are filing normal P&L, कभी-कभी क्या होता है, say example, you are a partner in a partnership firm. So definitely you have to file ITR 3 because वो partner का column ITR 2 में था ही नहीं. And फिर भी आपको presumptive में नहीं जाना है. There is. So there was one more category, no account cases where books are not maintained. No account cases. अगर if you have seen after your P&L, उसके बाद presumptive का category आता था, उसके नीचे there was one more category, no account cases. No account cases only where the turnover is less than 25 lakh, your profit is less than 2,50,000. Initially it was 10 lakh rupees, less than 1,20,000, profit less than 20,000. In that you have 4 only details, that debtor, creditor, stock and cash. उसी तरह if you are filing for this thing, presumptive में भी you can same time you can put the presumptive. It will trigger definitely. See, now this is a technology factor. In fact, what people say, sir, turnover, आपने पूछा, somebody will say, sir, my turnover here was 1 crore and F&O it is 3 crores, or I am going for presumptive, will it not trigger my turnover is more than these things? वो ट्रिगर करने वाला होगा तो करेगा, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट क्लियर एनीवेयर. इफ दिस टू टोटल्स क्रॉसेस 10 करोड़ तो हो सकता है आपको ऑडिट भी आ जाएगा. लेकिन सेम आर्ग्यूमेंट विल पीपल विल से सर I am filing for this for 2 crores, I am filing presumptive, for my stationery business for 1 crore I am filing regular return. So why it is not 3 crores? Because in income tax हम SSC का रिटर्न भरते हैं. If he is doing 10 businesses, we don't have that separate columns for each businesses. So definitely I think in the portal they will total the turnover. They have to total the turnover. Option is given. Option is given. What they will react on this, nobody knows. But option is definitely given. You can file the return. We have done it initially. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they are asking for this balance sheet. See, balance sheet में दो चीज भी दे सकते हो आप. Speculative loss, you just show capital negative, and in loans and advances or whatever maybe you show it's a second effect, वो balance sheet file हो जाएगा. Because this point has come, I will tell you. लोग पूछ रहे F&O में, they are asking for P&L. Now separately column for turnover of F&O and a profit from F&O. It has been specifically given in ITR 3. लेकिन मान लो आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, खाली आप F&O ही कर रहे हो, आपके पास balance sheet नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. So in that case, P&L, you put your F&O figures in balance sheet. That profit is your capital. Simple thing, you just presume आपने नीलेश वासा एंड F&O बिजनेस का बैलेंस शीट अलग बनाया है, तो आपको खाली F&O बिजनेस का डिटेल ही देना था, आपको इसका डिटेल नहीं देना था पर्सनल का. सो इन दैट केस यू कैन फाइल दैट वे, एंड योर अदर इनकम अदर सोर्सेज, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, कैपिटल गेन्स, वो आप अलग से दे दो. सो नीड नॉट गिव द होल बैलेंस शीट, बिकॉज उन्होंने मांग तो लिया है, लेकिन जब आदमी ने 20 साल से बैलेंस शीट ही नहीं बनाया है, तो हाउ ही विल put the figures in the balance sheet? So in that case, you can do that this way. Intertrading, it is a speculation. They ask it, definitely, they ask it. Margin amount, there's a formula. Add less, yes, add less. Negative, positive should be done total. No, it is not for tax. It is a law. F&O, if today Reliance Nifty I am purchasing for 1 lakh rupees, I am selling it for 1,20,000, my profit is 20,000, or say loss is 20,000. All negative, positive, total is my turnover. Tax audit is for SSC, उसको आज भरना है या कब भरना है कल. हाँ, turnover वही डालना है. Turnover, margin account total, what you say, that accounting standard guidelines are there, that margin account total is your turnover. फिर वो negative होवे, positive होवे. You are selling in F&O or this one derivatives? Yeah, perfectly. Correct. So that is a normal formula for this. What I said, अभी इस पे एकदम deep में जाने के लिए, then there are lots of things. See, वो accounting standard में पूरा 10 पेज होगा. Then before you filing, just go through. Normal rule is this, that margin account का total है. In fact, PMS में the expense you do, you pay to the PMS. वो भी नहीं मिलता है कहीं पे भी. Same PMS, normally the ticket size now in PMS is 1 CR, mostly 90% brokers are 1 CR. In 1 CR, if you earn, say example 20 lakhs and 40% या 20% या 10% is given to that PMS person, वो खर्चा भी आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. If your profit is 20 lakh rupees, you have to file the return for 20 lakh rupees. Even though you must have paid 5 lakh rupees to that PMS. Your actual profit is 15 lakh rupees, but that is not given anywhere. Only reason, what I presume, because those incomes, short term and long term, were in a special category. And F&O, they clearly told, in PMS, those short term, long term is under special category. उसमें वैसे ही टैक्स उन्होंने 12.5% रखा है, इसलिए they are not allowing any other expenses in that. Sometimes it may be more costly than your regular return, because if your income is 10 lakh rupees, आपको तो 10% ही भरना है. लेकिन in that case, you have to pay 12.5%. So it is little costly. Where? Yeah, definitely. F&O में 6% अगर के नीचे है तो जा सकते हो. लेकिन then प्लीज फिर आपका वो ट्रिगर हो गया. You have opted for 44 AD. फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर अब इधर फिर उधर नहीं कर सकते हो. या नहीं, ऑब्वियसली, बिकॉज अगर उसका अगर टोटल करोगे तो इट विल बी रन इन करोर्स. सेकेंड थिंग इज ITR 4 It is for presumptive category. ITR 5 is for firms, LLP, AOP, BOI. ITR 6, abhi this is not out, it is for companies, and ITR 7 is for trust. Updated return, ITR U, now it has been introduced already last 2 years. So updated return, you can file up to 48 years. The rule is that updated return can be filed up to 4 years from the end of the assessment year. So what we are filing, the assessment year is 26-27. So 27 का return 28, 29, 30, 31. 31st March 2031 तक आप भर सकते हो. There is a simple rule, and this rule is from all the previous returns also. For example, 25 का return भी आप 30 तक भर सकते हो, 24 का return 29 तक भर सकते हो. That is the only thing now they have clarified. You get 48 months from the end of the assessment year what you are filing. अभी next year अलग question होगा, people will say now there is no assessment year, so they will amend it, वो tax year कर देंगे कि from tax year से 4 साल से चलेगा. So updated return is this thing. This is the same slide, just to brief in more detailed way. A salaried person that I told 50 lakhs, 2 houses, all these things. ITR 2, capital gains and everything. ITR 3, business and professional. And presumptive, 44 AD, 44 ADA, 44 ADE, or AE. Now just what I told for ITR 1, I just made a separate slide for ITR 1 and 4, that who cannot file and who cannot file. Already we just discussed. See, some slides will repeat ho jayengi. Just it is for more clarification, so I have put this slide. Okay, who cannot file. Now one more change which has come, section 89A, foreign retirement account income. Now initially this was allowed last year to file under ITR 1 also. Now they have specifically removed any foreign retirement account income under section 89A, you cannot file in ITR 1 and 4. Compulsory you have to file ITR 2 and 3. That is the change which in this returns. So please take note of that. कैसे रिटर्न भरना है, जस्ट इस स्लाइड है, एवरीवन नो. लॉग इन करो, चूज अकाउंटिंग ईयर, regime, and then submit. Now key changes which are across all ITR returns. First change, dual contact details. This time, initially, see, this thing was already there, but it was not in ITR forms. अगर आप किसी ने, if you check the profile, when you change the profile, उसमें दो चीज आती है, primary mobile, primary email, secondary mobile, secondary email. This thing now it is in ITR return also. In ITR forms, now you can put dual reporting. Taxpayer can provide both primary and secondary. It is not compulsory, but you can provide both. Second thing, dual address reporting. Similarly, you can put address also, 2 addresses you can put. Sometimes what happen, people maybe he's having, as per PAN, he's having home here, लेकिन वो अभी second home है, his retirement home is maybe somewhere else. So he can put another address also for communication purpose. Otherwise, I think only this is the thing why they have given 2 addresses, because now many people have 2 addresses. किसी का office में PAN number ले लिया है बहुत सालों से, last 20 years that office address is his PAN address. Then now he want that my residence address भी मुझे करना है. या तो देखो आप PAN card change कर लो, address change कर लो, nothing like it. But if you want to stay with it, then you can have a primary and secondary both address का field. Now they are giving in ITR portal. Simplified representative filing. Initially, for all the deceased person, representative SSC needs to give PAN, address, capacity. Now it is no longer given. Only you have to give name, contact and email. For a representative SSC, उसका PAN नहीं होगा तो भी चलेगा. You can give these things. This is the change. These are all the changes in this financial year. For example, financial year 25-26, assessment year 26-27. Now 80 GGC, anyway, वो if you are filing in old regime, तो ये possible है. In 80 GGC, mandatory disclosure of PAN, name of the political party is to be given. Now somebody told me and we checked, sir ये उन्होंने लिखा है, लेकिन ये last year भी था. Last year without PAN they were not accepting it 80 GGC, but this year in the highlights they have given that this is compulsory. So name and PAN wherever you give 80 GGC political donation. Donation 80G donation transaction. Now transaction reference say UPI, check, IMPS, NEFT, RTGS, ये जो भी है उसका बैंक का IFSC code is compulsory to be given in donation category. And F&O reporting, as we said, separately a dedicated disclosure is given for F&O trading. Separate turnover and P&L figures are given so that it reduces misreporting and rising derivatives activity. So these are the main changes which are there in all the ITR forms. No. Giving the donation. Now the key change is, already few we explained, F&O we explained. Now this year 44BH, MSME interest disallowance has to be specifically, there is a column, you have to report MSME interest disallowance figure in the return. MSME interest, MSME का interest जो part है ना, itself is a big lecture on that. कब MSME interest आता है? Somebody asked me, sir, कोई बोलता ही नहीं है मैं MSME में हूँ. So recently we had one lecture at some Yogi Sabha group, and one speaker just told, sir, it is a responsibility of CA to check whether MSME में कोई है कि नहीं है, whether he has provided interest or not. 90% practically many where it is possible that वो बताता ही नहीं है कि मैं MSME में हूँ. और why we are on the safe zone or we are avoiding these things only because TDS return, अरे MSME आदमी है कि नहीं है, वो पोर्टल ने कहीं पे भी there is no ready available thing where you can say that his person is in MSME or not. It is the party who will say that I am in under MSME, please make the payment within 45 days or before within the due period. Otherwise nowhere you can check. हाँ, फिर आप बोलोगे कि उनको 4-5 पार्टी को पूछ लो whether is MSME or not. That definitely it is your prerogative, you can check it. Otherwise, practical problem I have seen because I am from a business background. Now company says to a person, सर आप MSME में हो तो बिजनेस नहीं करना है, आप MSME में नहीं हो तो मैं बिजनेस करूंगा. और अगर आप MSME में हो फिर भी if I make you payment because our terms is 90 days, I will make you payment in 90 days only. Then you will not report that I am under MSME. ये चल रहा है, मे बी इन आगे जाके somewhere they put a lock, या somewhere in the SSE only you will get a message that he is under MSME. Because MSME registration majority have taken. I think many chartered accountants also have taken MSME registration. All are taking it. But to report, how to report, that is a different, that is, if you have to check it out, the real thing is that yes, we have to check whether he is in MSME, whether payment is made under 45 days. आज भी हम क्या करते हैं? 31 मार्च को ही हम ट्रिगर करते हैं. 31 मार्च को 45 डेज होता है तो वी रिपोर्ट इट. लेकिन बीच में कभी 45 डेज के ऊपर हुआ होगा तो वी डोंट से एनीथिंग. बिकॉज अप्रैल का पेमेंट आपने जून में किया है, दैट इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. You have to make the payment in 45 days in MSME. But that things, if you will go deep, it will be a big issue for all these things. But the rule is that you have to report MSME interest disallowance, absolutely perfect. That is what law says. And that what they want, that you make payment on time. So just check, MSME interest disallowance is to be written right now. Last year tak, now partnership, remuneration and interest. People say, वो तो last year भी था, ये साल क्या change है? Change is that initially partnership interest and remuneration what you put in ITR 3 in schedule BP. In schedule BP there was a column salary, interest, commission, something, and we used to put figure there. अभी उन्होंने एक separately dedicated column दे दिया है where this partnership firm, this interest, this remuneration. What I think ये क्यों लिखा है, क्योंकि ये जो पूछ रहे हैं लोग what interest, what remuneration, what profit, ये सेम लाइन हम पार्टनरशिप रिटर्न जब भरते हैं उसमें तो हम लिखते ही है ये सब चीज. इफ यू सी, इफ यू फाइल ITR 5, देयर इज अ सेपरेट पार्ट फॉर द पार्टनर्स वेयर यू से व्हाट इज द इंटरेस्ट, व्हाट इज द रेम्यूनरेशन. ये उधर लिख रहे थे, उनको शायद ये डायरेक्ट लिंक करना होगा या नेक्सस करना होगा. सो नाउ दे स्पेसिफिकली दे आर गिव अस दिस कॉलम इन ITR 3 ऑल्सो. सो इंटरेस्ट एंड रेम्यूनरेशन शुड बी शोन सेपरेटली. रिवाइज रिटर्न फी वी विल कम इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. 234I. Political party already discussed, donation discussed, ITR 3 deadline updated to 31st August, we discussed. Presumptive capital gains bifurcation, yeah. Last year it was too much confusion. 23rd July 2024 was the date in during the financial year 24-25. ये 23 जुलाई का 24 का डेट ऐसा था, पूरा कैपिटल गेन्स का लॉ ही चेंज हो गया. एंड इट किसको पता भी नहीं चला. एंड इट वाज अ लिटरली, आई कैन नॉट से ड्रैकोनियन लॉ, लेकिन व्हाट पीपल हैव लॉस्ट ऑन बिकॉज ऑफ द 23 जुलाई आपको किसी को पता भी नहीं चला. सिंपल एग्जांपल आई कैन गिव यू फ्रॉम लास्ट ईयर पर्सपेक्टिव. अगर आपने 2001 में या 2020 में यू हैव परचेज्ड अ थिंग फॉर 1 crore एंड से ऑन 22nd July if you have sold that thing for 50 lakh rupees and say your reckoner value is also 50 lakh rupees, you had a loss of 50 lakh rupees long term capital gain. अगर वो 22 जुलाई को अगर आपने बेचा था, that 50,000 long term loss was carry forward to 8 years. लेकिन अगर आपने वो 23rd या 24th जुलाई को सेल किया था, that 50 lakh rupees long term capital loss is gone forever. Now as per new law, दैट इंडेक्सेशन बेनिफिट आपको 12.5 में जाना है या आपको 20% में जाना है, दैट बेनिफिट इज ओनली फॉर योर टैक्स कैलकुलेशन. नाउ फॉर कैरी फॉरवर्ड, ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड के लिए वो निकल गया है. सो दैट वाज लॉ लास्ट ईयर. सो देयर वर टू कैटेगरीज लास्ट ईयर, from 1st April to 22nd of July, from 23rd July to 31st of March 2026. There were two laws. So आपने पहले बेचा है तो you get the loss benefit, बाद में बेचा है you don't get the loss benefit. Otherwise that option is always there. आपको 12.5 में जाना है या आपको 20% में जाना है, ये option everywhere you get it. There is also any property purchased this year, any property purchased before 23rd July, that option is there for going in this, for indexation benefit. So that has been changed now. Now from this year return before 23rd, after 23rd July वाला system निकल गया है. So accordingly they have changed the slides. Now for the full year from 1st April 25 to 31st March 26, there is only one law. Either you go for 12.5%, which is the exact difference of your purchase minus sale, and you go for indexation benefit. Whatever is beneficial will be captured by the ITR portal. आपको भी select भी नहीं करना है. If say example your profit is you have purchased for 40 lakhs, you have sold for 50 lakhs. 10 lakhs का 12.5% पे करो या 12 lakhs का 20% पे करो. It is sorry, and indexation say example is 48 lakh rupees. So 2 lakhs का 20% या 10 lakhs का 12.5%. Whichever is beneficial, it will be captured. Otherwise, that thing is nothing to do with the carry forward. कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है, say you have purchased for 40 lakhs, sold for 50 lakhs. Indexation comes 52 lakhs. Still, you don't have to pay any tax because as per indexation you have a loss. So what they will do, 10 lakhs का 12.5% और minus 2 lakhs का tax कितना है? तो minus 2 lakhs का tax zero है. So they will say your tax is 1,25,000, but because of your indexation benefit, less 1,25,000, tax should be paid zero. This is the only thing for calculation. Otherwise, that 2 lakh rupees long-term capital gain loss is gone forever. You will not be able to set off against anything. कहीं भी आप सेट ऑफ नहीं कर सकते हो उसको. That slide is there. The separate slide. You will really enjoy. I made that slide for valuation purpose. DVO. Bought forward is same. Bought forward सब मिलेगा. Those things which were there before this law was enacted, this new law was enacted, everything is same. वो लॉस कहीं भी नहीं जाएगा. Allowed. Long-term capital indexation is allowed. Indexation is not for only shares, it is for everything. And that slide is also there, separately slide is there. I will just come out. See, anyway, we have little short of time and there are 71 slides. Mostly, I think I have covered everything. आपका question आएगा ही नहीं बाद में, आना चाहिए लेकिन आएगा नहीं. हाँ लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग. ज्वेलरी पे नहीं, अभी तो ज्वेलरी अभी हो गया नहीं. ज्वेलरी इफ यू परचेज बिफोर 23rd July you get it. Before 23rd July, now the law has changed. It is only for land and building. लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग में इंडेक्सेशन मिलेगा, अदर प्रॉपर्टीज पे आपको नहीं मिलेगा. इट इज प्योर डिफरेंस एंड यू पे द टैक्स. Anyway, it is only on jewelry only, or you can say that pictures or any big assets. Otherwise, for car sale or furniture sale, वैसे भी वो law नहीं था. Long-term capital gain is only for jewelry or precious items. No indexation. Now, 234F. Yeah. I never went to China, please. Maybe this, if I have to click it, then it happen. But I will let you know. Now only difference in 234I and 234F मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. ये दो स्लाइड में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. Now one thing, आपको लगेगा what is 234I? Initially, if you file return after 31st July, up to 31st December, you have to pay 1,000 rupees if your income is less than 5 lakh rupees. You have 5,000 rupees if income is more than 5 lakh. This was the late fee what government was charged. अभी उन्होंने क्या किया है? 31st December के बाद you can file revised return. आपको लगेगा मैं revised return कर लूँ तो मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम है? लेकिन now new section has come. Any return, revised return filed between 1st January to 31st March, still you have to pay under 234I. 234F and 234I is exactly same पैसा, same 1,000, same 5,000. Only the name has changed. Up to December तक ये वर्क करेगा, after December वो वर्क करेगा. why people, there will be a query. If somebody says, sir मैंने जुलाई में टाइम पे रिटर्न भर दिया, you have filed your return on 15th of July 2026 and now you are revising this return on 15th January 27, still that 1000 5000 का penalty लगेगा. Because what people used to do normally, as you know that these are the hacks, भर दो अभी, बाद में देख लेंगे. तो वो अगर आप अभी रिवाइज करते हो बाद में 15 जनवरी या 1 जनवरी के बाद, स्टिल लेट फीस आर देयर. उन्होंने उसको सेक्शन का नाम चेंज कर दिया है. दे हैव टोल्ड इट इज 234I. अदरवाइज if you revise the return on 31st December, no late fees. If the return is filed on time and you revise the return before 31st December, no late fees, nothing. But if you revise the return in between January and March, then 234I will be there. So you have to pay 1000 and 5000 accordingly. So it is the only difference between 234F and 234I. Both are exactly same section. एक section first 9 महीना वर्क करता है, एक section उसके बाद के 3 महीना वर्क करता है. Okay? Am I clear, everyone? Yeah, this is the same thing, only one thing to change, asset and liability disclosure. Now, as per the new changes in ITR forms this year, now Schedule AL, those who are initially were having income more than 50 lakh rupees were supposed to file Schedule AL. Now that limit has increased to 1 CR. Those who are having income more than 1 CR are only supposed to give the disclosure for Schedule AL. Otherwise, the Schedule AL will not work if your income is less than 1 CR. And the last part, otherwise ऊपर का part same है. What I have mentioned is that अभी आपको एक confusion नहीं है. Whenever you file the return, वो भी slide में आपको दिखाऊंगा. Whenever you file the return, अभी clear पूछा है उन्होंने, sir new regime, old regime, yes, no. Earlier last year ITR form में lots of confusion were there. पहले आप थे, बाद में आप थे, because initially default was old regime, you have option to go to new regime. बाद में उन्होंने change कर दिया, default is new regime, if you want to go out of this, you have to file this form. So lots of confusion till last year. Now a simple thing, sir, do you want to opt for new regime? Say yes. If you want to opt for old regime, say yes. फिर old regime के जो भी changes है, you have to file 10 IEA form, वो सब है. या opt out के लिए 10 IEA form है, वो भी है. लेकिन there is no confusion in filing the ITR forms this time. The last part, AIS, TIS. This is only from the practice perspective. Sir, AIS, TIS is not on real-time basis. वो आपको भी पता चल गया होगा आज तक. Say example, today you have a client जिसने आपको फीस दिया है and you have filed his TDS return, जिसके अंदर आपका ही TDS है, वो आपको आज AIS, TIS में दिख रहा होगा. Correctly? If today you make any changes in your 26 AS in your TDS return, online आपने change कर दिया, वो online change करने के बाद don't presume that वो very next minute आपका AIS TIS भी change हो जाएगा. वो नहीं होता है. I think what technically they say that AIS TIS का जो background होगा ना, वो batches में run होता होगा. So for example, first ये week का हो गया, then they may be running that AIS TIS rectification. Automatically 4-5 दिन के बाद या after 3 days or after 7 days that AIS get changed. So don't under impression. So why I am telling you, I would literally face this on 1st July. I just took AIS क्योंकि मुझे return 2nd July को भरना था. So sorry, 15 June I took some AIS, TIS, 20 AS. I thought that I have to file the return on very next day. लेकिन for some reason मैं 15 दिन तक वो return नहीं file कर पाया. On 1st July, don't make that mistake. On 1st July फिर से check करना, AIS, TIS, 20 AS change हो सकता है. और ये नेवर एंडिंग स्टोरी है. पीपल विल से सर 31 जुलाई को भर दिया तो भी चेंज हो सकता है 2 अगस्त को भी हो सकता है, लेकिन द चांसेस ऑफ चेंजेस ग्रेजुअली डिक्रीजेस. ऑन जून देयर वर चांसेस 10% दैट AIS TIS गेट चेंज. इन जुलाई इट इज 1%. आफ्टर जुलाई इट विल बी 001%. एंड व्हाई इट गेट चेंज? ओनली बिकॉज AIS 4 चीज से बना है: SFT, योर प्रॉपर्टी रिटर्न्स, योर शेयर बाजार रिटर्न्स, योर income tax, TDS returns and your GST returns. ये all these factors make your AIS. And the only biggest change आएगा कहाँ पे? SFT returns में. There India there are more than 7,000 company or more than that who giving dividends. अगर एक भी कंपनी ने अपना SFT return अगर मान लो 4th जुलाई को भी नहीं भरा है, whatever penalty उसको लगना है वो लगेगा, forget it. लेकिन उसने अगर नहीं भरा एंड इफ यू आर हैविंग शेयर्स ऑफ दैट कंपनी एंड यू आर गेटिंग डिविडेंड फ्रॉम दैट कंपनी, आप नॉर्मली व्हाट हैपेंस, इफ यू मेंटेन बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, आपने बता दिया है, इफ यू आर टोल्ड योर सीए दैट दिस इज माय डिविडेंड, फॉरगेट अबाउट एआईएस dividend is 90,000 but my dividend is 1 lakh rupees, you please pay on 1 lakh rupees, so forget it. Normally what happens in ITR 1 and 2, people वो dividend का figure सीधा AISTI से उठा लेते हैं, they don't have their own working because dividend का calculation is very difficult. I don't think so कोई भी आदमी अपने if you having 100 scripts वो रोज नोट भी करता होगा कि मुझे कौन सा dividend आया कौन सा नहीं आया. Dividend is only thing, जो आया वो मेरा bonus, जो भी पूरे साल में dividend आया that is my income. If that is less, say example AIS में 90,000 दिख रहा है और आपके टोटल में 88 दिख रहा है, फिर भी आप सीए को बोलते हो सर वो 90,000 ले लो, बिकॉज एआईएस में 90,000 लिखा है एंड एआईएस में स्क्रिप्ट वाइज डिटेल्स है, सो यू प्रिज्यूम दैट इट इज करेक्ट अनलेस यू आर वेरी श्योर दैट दिस इज अ रॉन्ग एंट्री इन दैट थिंग. सो whenever you file the return, please, I understand it is not always practical to again and again, but AIS, TIS, 20 AIS are on not on real time basis. That is the only thing I wanted to tell you. At least अगर important return है, आपको लग रहा है कोई doubt है, and last week I had an example, सेंट्रल बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने अपना TDS रिटर्न 31 मार्च को नहीं भरा था, उसने अपना रिटर्न 10 जून को भरा था. एंड इफ एनीवन इज फाइलिंग TDS रिटर्न, आई थिंक मेजॉरिटी मस्ट बी फाइलिंग. इफ यू सीन 31 मई 2026 को हमने जो रिटर्न भरा था वो 1 तारीख को प्रोसेस नहीं हुआ था. इट टुक 7 to 10 days टू प्रोसेस दैट रिटर्न, तो वो 10 जून को प्रोसेस हुआ था. सो दे यूज्ड टू से भर दो रिटर्न, लेकिन जब आपका AIS TIC नहीं आता तो हम कहाँ से भरेंगे. So technically, if somebody has filed the return on 6th of June or 7th of June, maybe that must have processed on 15th or 20th of June. So please check your AIS TIS once again before filing the return for important returns. And Central Bank of India का मैंने जब 25th June को मैंने जब उसका वो निकाला था AIS TIS, the 4th quarter interest was not reflecting neither in 20 AS neither in AIS TIS, and now it is reflecting. So we can presume that उन्होंने थोड़ा रिटर्न लेट भरा होगा, इसलिए ये आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है कौन रिटर्न कब भरेगा, यू नेवर नो. बट इफ SFT रिटर्न इज लेट, इफ TDS रिटर्न इज लेट, दिस कैन हैपन. यस, देखो आई गॉट योर पॉइंट. AIS में जो दिख रहा है वो मानना है नहीं मानना है, मान लो ये जो व्हाट ही सेड समटाइम्स दोनों में डबल फिगर दिख रहा है. AIS में आफ्टर AIS देयर इज अ पॉइंटर वेर यू कैन गिव योर कमेंट्स ऑल्सो. सो दे हैव आस्क्ड यू वेदर डिटेल इज पार्टली राइट, पार्टली रॉन्ग, फुल्ली राइट, फुल्ली रॉन्ग. देयर इज द ओनली ऑप्शन, आप उसको डिनाई कर दो. करेक्ट. सी इन दिस केस AIS TIS में क्या AIS DIS वो आपके सहूलियत के लिए है. इट नेवर चेंजेस योर ओरिजिनल डेटा. इफ योर सी आई हैव माय ओन AIS TIS इन फाइनेंशियल 25. AIS का फिगर और TIS का फिगर भी अलग है. AIS और TIS का फिगर भी अलग है. माई डिविडेंड वॉट इट शोज इन AIS was say 1 lakh rupees, in TIS it was 1,10,000 rupees. There are issues, मैं आपको बता दूं तो, and I got that issue, मुझे मिल गया. The only problem in AIS TIS में ये इश्यू कब आता है, when the company change the name और कंपनी मर्ज हो जाती है. So example, हिंदुस्तान लीवर, I got a dividend of 10,000 from हिंदुस्तान लीवर. In TIS 2 बार नाम है, HL whatever से HL लिमिटेड 10,000, हिंदुस्तान लीवर 10,000, और वो टोटल में भी आ जाता है. अभी ये मे बी दिस अ टेक्निकल एरर हो सकता है, उन्होंने SFT रिटर्न 2 बार भरा होगा, पहले हिंदुस्तान लीवर ने भी भरा होगा, बाद में उसने भी भरा होगा, उसके वजह से 2 बार आता है. इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ AIS TIS इज ओनली फॉर आवर बेनिफिट टू गो नियर टू द एक्चुअल रिटर्न. डोंट ट्रीट इट एज अ बाइबल. इट हैज टू बी ट्रीटेड एज अ बाइबल, बट डोंट ट्रीट इट, बिकॉज अगर आपका डबल है, आपको देखो क्लाइंट तो आपको कभी नहीं बोलेगा कि सर मेरा एक्चुअल डिविडेंड क्या है. अगर इफ ही सेज दिस में एक्चुअल डिविडेंड, मान लो इट इज 1 लाख, योर क्लाइंट सेज 1 लाख रुपीज, यू विल गो अहेड. ये भी हो सकता है उसने जो 1 लाख में एक कंपनी का नाम दिया है उसका दिख नहीं रहा है और एक कंपनी का नाम 2 बार दिख रहा है. रेक्टिफिकेशन एरर कितने भी हो सकते हैं. सो प्लीज ITR 1 and 2 आई अंडरस्टैंड, ये सब कोई किसकी वजह से डेटा होता नहीं है और एवरीवन गोज विद AIS TIS, बट what the main thing was to be highlighted, AIS, TIS are 99% perfect. 1%, please check your own data. Regarding this big properties issues, 2 crores, 1 crores, 3 crores, ये बड़े बड़े transactions में जो AIS ने बोला है वो कर दिया नहीं. Please, because उस पर आप करोगे ही नहीं. See, I understand SS transactions में nobody will go with AIS. If you have an agreement, you have a registered agreement in your hand. Everything is there. Why people will go with a figure with AIS, TIS? You have to go with your own figures only. Now this point, this I have slide, this was a last year slide only. लेकिन ये इसमें बहुत अच्छी बात हुई है. Buyback of deemed dividend, buyback of shares. Now, initially, buyback of dividend was a part of long-term capital gain. In the financial year 23-24, अगर आप कुछ भी, say example, you purchase a share of 1 lakh rupees and company's buyback में वो it is going for 1,50,000 rupees. It was a pure long-term capital gain or short-term capital gain purely. Last year they came with a change, and this change was from 1st October 2024. From 1st October 24 to 31st March 25, the law was that now buyback ka dividend will be a pure income from other sources. Say example, if you have received 1,50,000, you have to show is a income from other sources. And your purchase price 1 lakh rupees, your sale price will be 0. And you just show long-term capital loss. Either if you have any other in gain, set off kar lo, either carry forward karo. This law was there for 6 months, that buyback amount is a purely income from other sources, and whatever is loss you are getting, it is a long-term loss. That is the same law for this year's also. For financial year 25-26, यही law है. Why I put this slide? Only because ये law current year से change हो गया. Now 26-27, again we are back to square one. Whatever buyback है, वो आपका long-term capital gain ही गिना जाएगा, and वो income from other sources में निकल गया. So this is from this year, and I think recently somebody, Bajaj Auto is having a buyback. वो सबको mails आ गए होंगे. Bajaj Auto is having a buyback. वो buyback amount is purely a long-term capital gain, and it will not be an income from other sources. ये can anyone tell ये क्यों किया होगा उन लोगों ने? This is also in the favor of government. It is not in our favor. Now simple example. 25-26, if say I am having no income and I am having a buyback income of 10 lakh rupees, do I have to pay tax? No, because it is the income of other sources. 12 lakh के अंदर आते हैं, मुझे नहीं भरना है. Next year, if I am having a profit of 10 lakh rupees, because it is a special income, definitely I have to pay tax on that. Because वो 12 लाख के लिमिट में नहीं आएगा. And what benefit you get is that basic exemption 4 lakh रुपया, 1,25,000 long-term capital gain, that is okay. 525 is the only deduction you will take from the 10 lakh rupees. So because government ने वो 7 लाख को 12 लाख तक कर दिया, so now they don't want any hanky-panky all these things. बाकी सब चीज taxable कर दिया. So now from current year, buyback will also be taxable because it is a part of your long-term, short-term capital gain. Yes, you don't have to show income from the sources. Now this part. This was the question somebody asked, same thing. Last question I would ask, like to have from everyone where the question mark is given. See, if your sale consideration is 1 lakh rupees, your stamp duty valuation is 1,08,000, there is a trigger. There is a trigger of safe harbor, what you say 10%. Everyone knows if your agreement has a within safe harbor limit 10%, yeah. So if it is 1 lakh rupees, your stamp duty valuation is 1,08,000. What you have to take? Everyone is 1 lakh rupees because I am under safe harbor. In second one, if my consideration is 1 lakh rupees, my stamp duty valuation is 1,70,000 rupees. What I have to take? It is 1,70,000 because it's more than 10%. In third one, consideration is 1 lakh rupees, stamp duty valuation is 1,20,000 rupees. DVO valuation is 1,12,000. Now just for brief, ये DVO how to क्या होता है? See, whenever there are places, say in Virar or Nalasopara and somewhere, where every time your consideration value is not more than your reckoner value. In Virar sometimes ground floor का reckoner value 10,000 होगा, third floor का भी 10,000 ही है, लेकिन ground floor का आपको 12,000 मिल जाएगा, लेकिन third floor, fourth floor का आपको 8,000 ही मिलेगा. So your reckoner value is more than your consideration value. So what happens? See, obviously, आप तो उतने में बेचोगे जितने में हो जाएगा. You will not go with the reckoner value sometimes because if reckoner value is high. So in that case, if you have a consideration of 1 lakh rupees or reckoner value is 1,20,000 rupees, so you will file with 1 lakh rupees. Definitely आपको assessment में 143 में क्वेश्चन आएगा कि सर why you have not taken stamp duty valuation. In that case, you have an option to apply to the officer that please refer this case to the DVO. That is called Departmental Valuation Officer. Then Departmental Valuation Officer will give a value. In this example, Departmental Valuation Officer gave a value of 1,12,000. Now, 1 lakh is your consideration. FM stamp duty is 120. DVO value is 112. So what will be the final amount? So in that case, 112 will be the final amount. DVO value. Now the last example. Consideration is 1 lakh, stamp duty is 120, DVO value is 1,08,000. So what should be the final amount in our return? Okay. 1,08,000 or 1 lakh? But then what is the thing to go to DVO? DVO में इतना सर्कस करने के बाद क्या फायदा हुआ? DVO ने जो वैल्यू दिया, आपने ये बोल दिया सर 120 में बिलीव नहीं करता हूँ, 120 इज अ रॉन्ग अमाउंट. देन वाई, मेरे को तो DVO के पास जाना है. फिर DVO ने बोल दिया 1,08,000. स्टिल यू हैव अ प्रॉब्लम विद 1,08,000. ये तो इट मीन्स दैट you are not agreeing with 1,08,000 also now. But your answer is absolutely right. The safe harbor limit is been given on the DVO value also. So if 1 lakh, but this is not enacted in a law. It is a Delhi Tribunal case law recently given, and they were told that yes, it will be 1 lakh because a safe harbor limit of 10% can be given on that also. So because of only thing this slide was given. नहीं कर सकता ना वो तो आप यू नहीं रिटर्न फाइलिंग से व्हाट पीपल डज वो अपना वैल्यूएशन लेके रख लेते हैं फ्रॉम द वैल्यूअर्स कि भाई माय वैल्यूएशन इज 1 लाख रुपीस. यस सर. डीवीओ तो आप बाद में ही जा सकते हो, जब गवर्नमेंट एग्री नहीं करेगा तब आपको डीवीओ के पास जाना है. डीवीओ को आपको नहीं जाना है, यू डोंट हैव टू गो टू डीवीओ, द ऑफिसर विल गो टू द डीवीओ 100%. Yeah, you have to challenge it because it is a practically, and I have, because in Sati Valley, or you can say in somewhere Nalasopar or Vasai Sati Valley, the purchase value was 20 lakh rupees, sale value is 30 lakh rupees, reckoner value is 40 lakh rupees. So definitely 10 lakh rupees का difference कोई नहीं भरेगा इसके लिए. Same thing is written, section 50C, the applicability of safe harbor. The case law I have given, Jawaharlal Devidas Chabaria case law, Shriram Properties case law. ये पोर्टुगीज का स्टडी मुझे लगता नहीं किसी ने भी किया होगा आज तक. मुझे और आई थिंक एनीवन इन द ऑडियंस कभी भी वो पोर्टुगीज वाला रिटर्न भरा है आज तक? नहीं भरा है. तो वो क्वेश्चन के लिए स्टडी करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज इट इज अ टोटली डिफरेंट लॉ, डिफरेंट लॉ. नाउ few things I have kept in this because it is not that I have checked this, because we in the direct tax committee we have got big speakers also. उसमें भी जब अभी हम कुछ करते हैं तो कुछ अच्छी चीजें हैं आई हैव पुट ओवर हियर. नाउ द फर्स्ट थिंग्स इन कैपिटल गेन्स, जस्ट फॉर योर नॉलेज, if you buy one flat or if you sell one flat, you have an option to buy only one flat, but you can buy two adjacent flats. That is option. The same question was asked by the people, sir मैं दो adjacent flat ले लूँ? तो speaker just told, learned speaker, sir दो adjacent flat का मतलब दो adjacent होता है. से एग्जाम्पल 101 इधर है, 102 इधर है, आपने ले लिया, अंदर लिख दिया 101 102, एग्रीमेंट दो अलग होगा. ऑब्वियसली दो एडजेसेंट फ्लैट है, एग्रीमेंट तो दो ही होंगे. फिर भी यू शुड टेक केयर. ये कोई चैलेंज नहीं करता है, लेकिन जिस दिन चैलेंज हुआ एडजेसेंट फ्लैट का मतलब एडजेसेंट फ्लैट होता है. इट शुड बी इन द प्लान ऑल्सो कि बीच में वॉल नहीं है और एडजेसेंट फ्लैट है. ऐसा नहीं है आपने फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे एक फ्लैट ले लिया, सेकंड फ्लोर पे ले लिया और आप बोल रहे हो कि मेरा एडजेसेंट फ्लैट है. इट इज नॉट दैट वे, बट पीपल आर डूइंग, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत बड़ा कैपिटल गेन्स होता है एंड पीपल आर जस्ट ब्लाइंडली गोइंग. बट एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट प्लीज दिस डिस्क्लेमर यू गिव टू द क्लाइंट्स, सर इसको एडजेसेंट फ्लैट मत बोलना अगर वो ऑपोजिट है तो दोनों एडजेसेंट फ्लैट. सो टू एडजेसेंट फ्लैट कैन बी टेकन, दैट केस लॉ सैयद अली आदिल 2013 यू कैन रेफर. वहाँ पे एडजेसेंट फ्लैट्स है लेकिन इट शुड बी एडजेसेंट. टेक्निकली तो लोग ये भी बोल सकते हैं कि म्यूनसिपालिटी के प्लान में होना चाहिए एडजेसेंट, या आपने अप्रूव कराया होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने दो फ्लैट अलग ही लिया, बाद में आपने दीवार को निकाल दिया बीच में से. फिर भी पीपल आर टेकिंग इट एंड दे आर गिविंग इट. पोर्टल डजंट से एनीथिंग, बट यू शुड नो द लॉ दैट एडजेसेंट फ्लैट का डेफिनेशन क्या है. सेकंड थिंग, There is one case law, I think Vimal Punamia ji has filed this, Kamal Wahal case 2013 Delhi. In this case, he has won it. A flat sold by husband and purchased by wife, still you get the capital gains. This is a case law. See, when there is a case law, means there was a dispute. And where was the dispute? Means there was a difference of opinion. ये lifetime रहने वाला है. But in this case study, if you want to take the benefit of this, husband sold the flat, purchased in a wife name, full consideration, he got the benefit and it was approved by this case. So just ये case law आपके study के लिए है, if sometimes you face this thing. Third thing, T.N. Arvinda Reddy, co-owner releasing his share. For example, I sold the flat, I am releasing my full share. Say example, I and my wife, she is releasing full share. ऐसा होगा नहीं, लेकिन she is releasing the full share. और वो, I only purchased the flat. The co-owner releasing share, it is also possible. So ये for this case law. And one Delhi High Court case law, exactly I don't know the citation. Sometimes happen, आपने फ्लैट खरीद लिया, आपको 3 साल में कंस्ट्रक्शन करना था. This is a case law. If 3 साल में कंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं हुआ है, still you get you don't lose that benefit of capital gains. Exemption if a builder does not construct a flat within 3 years, exemption was given because builder कब बनाएगा वो मेरे हाथ में नहीं है. When I sold the flat, I had an option. Either I buy something, I bond, CGS scheme, all this thing was there. I bought the flat, but this flat was not constructed in 3 years. It was constructed in 10 years. Then also you don't lose that capital gains benefit only because that builder ने time पे building complete नहीं किया. तो ये case study है. Which agreement? हाँ. See, when mention the agreement, see that is a legal matter. Definitely. It is 3 years only. You have to construct in 3 years. अगर अंदर ही see same thing वो MSME का बताया वैसे ही है. It is 45 days. लेकिन 90 days लिख दिया है, कोई नहीं बोलेगा तो क्या कर सकते? Secondly, if it is 4 years, from the day when you know that I am violating the law, from the day when you know it, so then you take the shelter of that law. That is a different thing. वो आपका risk है कि 4 साल के बाद क्या होगा. Otherwise, I think so. In presently, रेरा में सब जगह पे people give 36 months only. Nobody says that sir मैं इसको 6 साल में बनाऊंगा. फिर भी there is an exemption. This was just for reference purpose. More study you can do on this thing because what you said उसमें क्या हो सकता है? This depends on the case laws because there is no proper law enacted in this as per Income Tax Act. Now one more thing, I think, in fact, I was aware a little late about this. There is, you can buy 2 flats. 2 adjacent flat नहीं, कोई भी 2 flat बेच सकते हो. So there was a law, if your capital gains, and still that law is there, if your capital gains is less than 2 CR, if your capital is less than 2 CR, only 2 CR, then you can buy 2 flats. That is there. This law was put by Piyush Goyal ji when the time Arun Jaitley was not well and he took over finance ministry. At that time this law came. If your profit is less than 2 crores, you can buy 2 flats, but this benefit is only once in a lifetime. You cannot take this benefit again. So just for your knowledge purpose, this you can buy this flat, 2 flats, but your profit should be less than 2 CR. And this is once in a lifetime. After that you don't get benefit, this type of benefit ever again in your life. So just if in case somebody का profit 2 crore के नीचे है, he can buy 2 flats. And 10 crores cap everyone knows. Now, long-term capital gain. Long-term capital gain. नहीं, if your LTCG are up to 2 crores, long-term gain. Gain. Long-term capital gain are not consideration. Gain. 2 CR if it is within 2 CR, and if it is more than 10 CR, now everyone knows if I buy a flat of 10 CR, I am selling it for 30 CRs, 20 CR का मैं कुछ और खरीद लेता हूँ, then also I can benefit only of 10 CR up to 10 CR. बाकी के ऊपर I have to pay the long-term capital gain tax. That is everyone knows if it is more than 10 CR. So this only specifically, this case study was kept for the 2 CR purpose. This is a chart just for reference, stamp duty valuation, how it is done, consideration, who adopt stamp duty valuation, 10% safe harbor is also given to this one, stamp duty valuation. Now, this is from the perspective of, see basically what changes were there ITR, वो मैंने बता दिया. Now half an hour is really all the things, 1 minute, 1 second. All the things which I have jotted down, And you should know as a practitioner, we will start with this thing. All amendments and practical issues. Yeah. From 1/4 to, it is universally now, if your property is before 1/4/2001, the valuation will be of 2001. Normally, people go with the Reckner value of 2001. वो valuers भी क्या करते हैं? Valuers भी वही करते हैं, वो भी 1/4/2001 का Reckner value आपको देते हैं. There may be people वो आप high या up down करोगे, लेकिन it is always Reckner value. It is a Reckner value. Now this slide is given because this will go with to on your website also. Just for refer, because आज की तारीख में भी ना सर आप मुझे फॉर्म्स पूछोगे तो आई थिंक मेजोरिटी डजंट नो द न्यू फॉर्म्स ओल्ड फॉर्म. ये हम ग्रेजुअली जब हम रोज करेंगे तो हमको याद आ जाएगा. अदरवाइज समबडी टेल सर व्हाट इज 168, वो मुझे पढ़ना पड़ा सर. 168 इज 26 AS. वो हम रोज 26 AS पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन वी डोंट नो दैट इट इज नेम इज 168. सो दिस इज द ओल्ड एंड न्यू फॉर्म्स फॉर योर रेफरेंस. किसका नाम पहले क्या था और व्हाट इज हैज चेंज. So form 16 is now 130, 16A is 131, all these things. Just for your reference, I have put this. Your 15 CACB is now 145, 146. Now everyone knows 145, 146 because वो every day का use में आता है. These are the other forms. Your form 26 AS is 168. Your 3CA, 3CB will be called now form 26. ये मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? कभी somebody tells us what 26 I have a query. तो मुझे भी सोचना पड़ता है what is form 26. So all the 30 forms names old and new has been given. And now from the perspective of TDS, these are old sections and these are new sections and slab rates and threshold limits. This is for your reference. Now वो 194J, उसके अंदर था 194JA, उसके अंदर था 194JB. All these things gone. Now only one section 193, 93, 1. उसके अंदर फिर 4 ऑप्शन है. 2% on if you are director or sitting fees, if you are on a technical 2%, if you are a normal professional 10%. This is not the part of our ITR, but I thought that we should share this. This is from the TDS angle, all the old section and new sections are mentioned over here, and the slab rate is mentioned. Okay, can I move forward? Everyone has had a glance with this? Yeah. वो see their same problem comes when we file a TDS also. इतने सारे इतना बड़ा literature लिखा हुआ है. And see one more clarification. Yesterday only I got clarification. जो इतने सालों से है सर sections का mistake हो गया, forget it. They are not going with the sections. Sections you put it कि आपको right section डालना है 196, लेकिन 194J. But if you put 194C and while filing the return you have to put in 194J, you can put it. Unless your TDS rate should be same. Say example 194C and you have paid 10%, वो आप 94J करो, A करो, कुछ भी करो, आपको कोई problem नहीं है. These sections are only for our reference. In the back end TDS के portal में ये नहीं होता है. Now because we came, there is one more slide. I will take it in the beginning only. This is the note given by our Ravi Soni. He is also TDS expert. From the department angle, he has told everyone, please कोई भी seminar में आप ये line please बोल दे रहा सब लोगों को. Everyone knows unconsumed challan. Unconsumed challan can be used 1 year before, 1 year after. This everyone knows, okay? लेकिन 25-26 का unconsumed challan, please don't use it in 26-27 first quarter. At least not for first quarter. आप second quarter से use कर सकते हो. At least first quarter में use मत करना because TDS 2.0 which came on 1st April 2026, it is not fully functional. आप use करोगे, देखो आपको पैसा कहीं नहीं जाएगा. That you can use in second quarter also, you can use in third quarter also. But don't use it in first quarter because first quarter I think returns are due in this month only. So if there is, say example आपने मार्च में कोई TDS भर दिया, then you came to know that ये तो गलत भर दिया है, I should not have paid this TDS, or that entry was deleted afterwards. So you think that yes, we will pay it in, we will use it in current year. So current year you can use it because 1 year before, 1 year after law is there. But still don't use it, then rest is your call. If it is a very big amount, client बोलेगा इतना पैसा ही नहीं है मेरे पास, आप adjust कर लो, तो that is a different thing. Otherwise, Hello. So it is, don't use it in first quarter. That is the only thing I want to tell. This is the important. Okay, now few FAQs. Yeah. Okay, now I will see all these FAQs, everything is on the website. There is nothing I have prepared it. लेकिन हमके पास time नहीं होता है वो देखने के लिए. ITR on the portal, lots of FAQs are there. There are more than 50 FAQs. Out of, we will finish it on 15 minutes. ITR, there are lots of FAQs. I have jotted down few FAQs, but जो ये FAQs है, is it mandatory to file? It is changed. ये तो simple है. But all these FAQs का एक ही answer है. What people used to ask me before the seminar also. Anything done before 31st March 26 and notice, search, seizure, anything which comes after 1/4/26 in new regime and in new Income Tax Act, still everywhere it is written, the law 1961 will only prevail for all those matters. So आपको लग रहा है सर मैंने 23-24 का रिटर्न भरा था, अभी मुझे 27 में उसका नोटिस आ गया, so it is 1961 एक्ट और 2025 एक्ट, it is 2025 एक्ट नहीं है, it is 1961 एक्ट ही है. So all these questions, it reflects same thing. Can I file ITR for 3 years now? Yes. Can I file revised return after my ITR has been processed? Yes. But it should be before 31st March 2027. But you should have filed the return. Whether old regime is beneficial, it is up to you. Which return will be used for filing returns of earlier assessment year? Which return will be used for filing earlier assessment year? मतलब it will be old returns only. वो template भी वही है, कुछ भी change नहीं हुआ है. Before 1961 Act will prevail. Though you are filing in 27, you are filing in 28, or you are filing return in 29. Say example, your March 25 का return you can file up to 31st March 30. So if you are filing on 31st March 30, still Income Tax Act 1961 is prevailing. वो 2025 का Act prevail नहीं करता है. So I just wanted to note all these things. Common errors in ITR filing, this already we discussed. Please check each and everything. Claiming deduction, AIS, TIS, income, omitting income, delaying return and not verifying returns. ये कभी होता नहीं है. 1 lakh में एक बार होता है. After you file the return, you put submit button, आप कुछ भी कर लो. Sometimes it happens once in 1 lakh that after submitting आप 15 दिन के बाद आपको मालूम पड़ेगा कि वो return submit ही नहीं हुआ था. It is on the submitting stage. So better that ITR V copy एक बार, whenever you file वो ITR V का copy एक बार आँख से देख लेना. You have that ITR V. Just don't presume that sir I have filed the return. So there is the only thing you have to take a note. Yes. Now the capital gains part, the important part. Yeah. Short term, there are 3 categories in capital gains, short term में, or 4 categories. For you, the 2 are important. One is with, for FII, so we will not consider it FII. In short term capital gain can be of 2 things. Either it can be of shares, that is 111A, and one it will be other than shares, that is jewelry and everything. So there are 2 categories. In short term capital gain on anything other than shares, it is a slab rate, and on 11A it is 20%. In long-term capital gain, there are 4 categories. Apart from FII, there are 3 categories. One is anything sale of shares, that is 112A, जिसका limit 1 साल होता है. Other than shares, other than 112A, वो एक category है. And third category is that 20% वाला category, indexation category. So there are 3 categories. The rate is written 12.5%, 12.5%, and in indexation it 20%. Why this slide is given? Can you tell me if my income is 10 lakh rupees and my profit from sale of jewelry is 1 lakh rupees, what will be the taxability? What tax I have to pay? Obviously I am not going, and there is no indexation. So definitely I have to pay 12,500 because 10 lakh is already normal income. And before I start, अगर आपका इनकम 10 लाख के ऊपर, मतलब योर नॉर्मल इज 10 लाख रुपीज, योर स्पेशल इनकम इज 5 लाख रुपीज, यू आर क्रॉसिंग 15 लाख रुपीज, मतलब यू आर क्रॉसिंग द 12 लाख रुपीज, प्लीज रिमाइंड स्टिल यू गेट द बेनिफिट ऑफ 87A. 87A सेज आपका नॉर्मल इनकम 12 लाख के नीचे होना चाहिए. सो इन अ वेरी बिग एग्जाम्पल आई कैन से यू, योर नॉर्मल इनकम इज 11 लाख रुपीज एंड योर short-term capital gain on share is say 5 crore rupees, still you get the benefit of 87A because your normal income is less than 12 lakh rupees. In our case, it is 10 lakh rupees and short-term capital gain on sale of jewelry is 1 lakh rupees. So obviously it will be 12,500. Everyone agrees with this? How many disagree with this? Nobody. So you should have disagreed. No. That's why I told in the beginning, short-term capital gain on other than sale of shares is a part of the normal income only. Because you are charging it on our normal slab. अगर आप 30% में हो तो 30% भरना है, आप 20% में हो तो 20% भरना है, आप 5% में तो 5% भरना है. For the same reason, only this category, out of the 7 categories, short term के 3, long term के 4, out of the 7 categories, only one category is this, that short term capital gain on other than shares is a part of your normal income. So if say your sale of jewelry, you have no other income and your sale of jewelry is 12 lakh rupees, there is no tax. You get the benefit of 87A. This was I wanted to highlight in this slide. Yes. हाँ? शेयर एस्टेट तो शेयर्स में होता है ना. That I am not aware. Really, that ETF I have not covered on this thing. Okay. Now this just these slides. Those who are not filing return on portal. आपको पोर्टल के लिए बता रहा हूँ. पोर्टल में एक्चुअली क्या होता है? एक्चुअली आपको दो भी फाइल ऑन सॉफ्टवेयर और वाटर में भी, लेकिन ये पता होना चाहिए पोर्टल में कैसे आता है. This one written portal में whenever you will file the return, this is the first option you will get. What I told you that बहुत simple कर दिया है. Do you wish to exercise option 115BAC6? Yes or no? ये सबसे पहला slide आपको आएगा when you file the return online. The second slide you will get this. Where you eligible for exemption? ये सबका no answer होता है. See, you can have an option to skip the questions also. There is one option, skip the questions. But there are only 3 slides which will come in the beginning. This option and the last option you will get. Are you eligible for deduction? लेकिन ये अगर आप old regime में हो तो ही आएगा और new regime में नहीं आएगा. These 3 slides के बाद your normal return will start, and this is how the capital gains part looks in your return. जो ITR portal में जब भी आप देखोगे तो आपको ऐसे दिखेगा. Short term capital gain 12.5, 20%, other than share, which share, FII, long term, all the 7 categories what I told will reflect like this in your return. Sorry, it will reflect like this on the return. Okay, and then now mostly last part. Now interplay between rebate, margin relief and agriculture relief. ये मैं आपको बता दूं because we have a short of time. I will just explain you the answers only. Simple. If your income is 12 lakh rupees, no tax. If your income is 12 lakh 50,000 rupees, no rebate. No rebate. But you get, because marginal relief, अब figure एक याद कर लो, 12,70,588 is the figure where up to what margin relief work करता है, उसके बाद margin relief work नहीं करता है. So if your tax income is 12,70,588 and less, आपका टैक्स जितना इनकम बढ़ा है उतना ही आएगा. So if your income is 12,50,000, your tax is 67,500, but you have to pay only 50,000 because your income is exceeding 50,000. So that 17,500 is your marginal relief. And because I have written 12,70,588, because 12,70,588 का tax भी 70,588 ही आता है. So after that margin relief will close. So these are the 3 scenarios. So just note down that up to 12,70,588. So say example your salary is 12,75,000. Forget about that 75,000. If so you can say your salary, if it is 12,70,000 plus 75,000, in that case your tax will be 70,000 only. In that case, second scenario, fourth one, 12,80,000 and okay, so 12,80,000, no rebate, nothing. Tax is 72,000. You have to pay 72,000. The fifth scenario, agriculture income. Why I have put this agriculture income? Because abhi if your income is 11 lakh rupees, go to scenario 6. If your income is 11 lakh rupees and your agriculture income is 2 lakh rupees, abhi aap 12 lakh cross kar diya, aapne 13 lakhs pe aa gaye aap. Now you will have a question that agriculture income was for calculation purpose, they have told. So mera income 13 lakh ho gaya ki kya hai? So if in this case, just to give a brief explanation, if you have crossed 13 lakh rupees, still 87A rebate is not going anywhere because your normal income, it means to say, though they have told you to add it in your agriculture income, it is only for tax calculation purpose. Otherwise, your normal income is 11 lakhs only. So now in this example, 11 lakhs plus 2 lakhs, your tax will be 75,000 rupees. Because on 2 lakh rupees, it is 15%. So 75,000, from that you get 10,000 rebate, agriculture relief of 10,000, that is 2 lakhs ka 5%. You will get it. So 75,000 minus 10,000, that is 65,000. And then again you will get a rebate of 60,000 rupees. So your tax will be only 5,000 rupees. This has been checked, examined, cross-checked, everything has been done. So just for your note, agriculture income will not change that 12 lakh का structure. If your normal income is below 12 lakhs, tax आपको calculate करना है total पे ही, लेकिन आपका rebate कहीं नहीं जाएगा. 60,000 rebate you will get it. Agriculture relief का rebate भी आपको मिलेगा. Both the relief you will get it. And then balance is the taxable. Same thing I have written in that scenario 5. It is 12 lakh 50,000 plus 2 lakh rupees. In this case, because I was about 12 lakh rupees. तो उसके लिए मुझे फिर कोई benefit नहीं मिलेगा. I have to pay simply 87,500 and there is no margin relief also in this. Okay. And this is interplay between long term and short term. So this we have already discussed that long term, short term जो है, if that indexation loss is there for only calculation purpose, and short term, long term, everything gets set off in that only. And in some cases, you know that long term gain can be set off against short term loss. ये yesterday only because ये हमेशा प्रॉब्लम होता था. अगर आप इमीडिएटली किसी को पूछते हो, सर शॉर्ट टर्म मिलेगा कि लॉन्ग टर्म मिलेगा, क्या मिलेगा, किसके सामने क्या मिलेगा, एवरीवन नोज दैट लॉन्ग टर्म गेन के सामने शॉर्ट टर्म लॉस मिल जाएगा. आई रियली वंडर द क्लासेस में जो सिखाते हैं, बीइंग माय डॉटर इज ऑल्सो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, कल उसने मुझे बताया, सर ये याद रखने का बहुत सिंपल तरीका है, वेरी सिंपल तरीका, किसके सामने क्या मिलेगा. सर खाली मुझे डैडी इतना बताओ, मुकेश अनिल की हेल्प करेगा कि अनिल मुकेश की हेल्प करेगा. अब खाली इतना याद रखना है, मुकेश अनिल की हेल्प करेगा कि अनिल मुकेश की हेल्प करेगा. मुकेश ही अनिल की हेल्प करेगा, मुकेश क्योंकि लॉन्ग टर्म है और अनिल शॉर्ट टर्म है. वेरी सिंपल, लॉन्ग टर्म गेन, शॉर्ट टर्म लॉस, ये आपको सेट ऑफ मिलेगा. ये आपको परमानेंटली खाली याद रखना है कि लॉन्ग टर्म गेन के सामने शॉर्ट टर्म लॉस सेट ऑफ हो जाएगा. Now these are all the things we have already discussed. I told you this all questions were related to old act लेना है कि न्यू एक्ट लेना है, ये सारे क्वेश्चन उसी के रिलेटेड थे. अच्छा, updated return, only one thing, updated return who cannot file. Updated return can be filed by everyone, but if there is a search seizure going under one section 32A, there is survey going on in all those things, and there is a big section of ITRU, 99% everyone is eligible, but there are few places where आपको ITRU नहीं फाइल कर सकते हो if already some proceedings are going against you for that financial year. Yeah, definitely. Not that search and survey, there is a different. Re-questioned, there is one section where there is a re-question going on, with search going on, survey going on. See, I have this slide, it's a very big slide on this thing. But updated return, 99% people will be eligible, but just check out who is not eligible to file updated return. And this is just a breakup of what is belated, revised and updated return. इसका chart है, we have already discussed कौन कब भर सकता है, कौन नहीं भर सकता है. 146? नहीं. अच्छा, and this was a slide which I read in the newspaper and everywhere article. 15G, 58 बहुत confusion था पहले, कौन 15G भरेगा, कौन 15H भरेगा. Actually it was, one was for senior citizen, one was for not for senior citizen. But now there is only one form, and they have clearly said, when you file form 15, the new form from this year, the name in that 15H return and the name in your PAN card, if it is word to word exactly same, तो ही benefit मिलेगा, वरना benefit government technical error से नहीं देगी आपको. Because sometimes Pratik G it is written in 15H. Actually his name is Pratik. Yeah, some bhai is written or whatever maybe, या किसी whatever is change in your PAN card में, अगर PAN card में नीलेश भाई लिखा है, तो please 15H के return में नीलेश भाई लिखना आप. If there is a simple word error also in that 15H return and your filing of the return PAN card, that 15H benefit technically you don't get it. So this is just for your knowledge कि ये आप check कर लेना. Update return already we have discussed. See, that I was telling. Who cannot file the updated return? Okay. And last point, NRI buyers, just for your knowledge, all the NRI buyers were supposed to deduct TDS on 10 based and not pen based. Everyone knows NRI. If I am an NRI, I have purchased a flat of say 2 crores. I was supposed to deduct TDS, but that was on 10 based. मुझे 10 number compulsory लेना पड़ता था. आज भी लेना पड़ता है. That law from 1st October 26 has been changed. From 1st October 26, NRI buyers can also deduct TDS on pen based. Okay, so there's the whatever important things I wanted to discuss. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nilesh bhai, for wonderful engaging session. We can take 1-2 queries if members have. Yeah.
And the difference as per indexation is say 20 lakhs loss, and without indexation it is 30 lakhs profit. So while calculating the taxable and the surcharge is calculated on the total income.
Correct.
So it is considering the non-index part and
No, that
calculating the
indexation loss is just for your reference purpose. It is not getting any effect in the return.
No, while calculating the tax part, the surcharge is calculated on the total income.
Correct.
So though the tax is not applicable on the capital gain part, it is exempt under 122A1, but index surcharge is calculated on the other total.
But it is
tax
getting
part.
calculated.
Yeah.
That's what maybe they have enacted accordingly that way. आप 50 क्रॉस, सी वाई इट इज कैलकुलेटिंग, मैं आपको बताता हूँ. से यू परचेज अ फ्लैट ऑफ 10 लाख रुपीज, यू सोल्ड इट फॉर 30 लाख रुपीज, आपको 20 लाख का प्रॉफिट हो गया, बट इंडेक्सेशन वॉज 50 लाख रुपीज. सो आपको टेक्निकली लॉस आ रहा है, लेकिन वो लोग क्या बोलना चाहते हैं, सर आप 20 लाख कमाए तो हो, इसलिए 20 लाख इज योर इनकम, एंड दैट्स वाई इफ यू आर क्रॉसिंग 50 लाख रुपीज द सरचार्ज विल बी लेविड. दैट इज देयर पर्सपेक्टिव, बिकॉज एज पर बुक यू आर अर्निंग समथिंग.
Means the definition says that surcharge is applicable on the income.
Yeah. So that 20, see, आप अगर capital gains का chart देखोगे, it is written long term capital gain 20 lakh rupees. Taxation on that long term capital gain is 0, and it is not putting 0. What they are telling, your profit was 20 lakh rupees. Say example 10 minus 30, 30 minus 10, 20 lakhs का 12.5%, say 3 lakh rupees. Then they are writing over there, indexation benefit, taxation benefit due to indexation is 3 lakh rupees. Right. So 3 minus 3, tax is 0. But your profit is 20 lakh rupees. So that's why they are considering the 20 lakh rupees. But that your turnover should be less than 25 lakhs, no? Then only you can do it. Yeah.
Loss of 24 lakh, then 1 lakh is a profit capital gain.
Net, obviously.
Net only.
Yeah, net. Long term capital gain 1,20,000 के नीचे, फिर वो कैसे बना है, nobody ask you. It is the thing. And everyone knows now, don't go with the pure that difference. Now all the brokers give you tax PNL. Your normal PNL is different. Your tax PNL is different. Tax PNL और normal PNL में एक ही difference होता है, STT purchase में और sale में निकल जाता है. You don't get the benefit of STT. Yeah, last question.
One last question.
Sir, deemed capital gain, it is taxable at 12.5%. But we have taken the benefit of indexation during depositing in capital gain account scheme. And now we are offering for tax. So what rate we have to pay?
That same question I asked. ये question, we have a member over here, I think today is not there. ये question last year के भी slide में भी था. If I don't want to buy a property, and I have invested in capital gain scheme this year. Say after 3 years मैंने फिर भी property नहीं खरीदा या 2 years में. So then in that case, whatever actually law was that what capital gains I have saved today, I should have paid on that day. But say on that day capital gains का rate 5% हो गया, 5%. So portal allows you 5%, but we have a member, I think he just told me yesterday that he got assessment और उन्होंने उसको 12.5 भरवाया. Whatever tax was saved earlier. So I want to just tell, अगर आपने 2025 में, if you have not purchased any property, you have invested in capital gains scheme, at that time the capital gains rate was 20%. And now, if you are still not investing and you want to pay tax, it will not be 12.5%, it will be 20%. But our system, अगर आप 12.5 pay करोगे, it accepts it.
Yes, sir. तो अभी रिटर्न में कहाँ पे दिखाना है?
See, you pay more now then. 12.5% you show it, but you show the figure more. So that at least you say that I have paid appropriate tax.
Reverse calculate.
Reverse calculation.
Thank you very much, Nilesh bhai. Before I ask Viral to propose well-deserved vote of thanks, we have WRC conducting a master class on GST. So we have given discount to BCSE members who are willing to attend, still have not enrolled. You can still enroll and there will be a discount of 500 rupees. So you have to pay just 500 plus GST. That is the fees for 6 hours CPE on master class. So and post this session there will be a break downstairs for tea and coffee. I would request Viral to propose a well-deserved vote of thanks.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. They say excellence is not an act, it's a habit. And if there's one thing that has become a habit for all of us, it's attending CA Nilesh Vasa sir's ITR session every year. He prepares us academically for the ITR season every year. So every year we walk in thinking that we know the law and we know the utility, but every year we walk out realizing how much more there is to learn. So that's the hallmark of a great speaker that has given the lecture today. Sir, thank you for yet another detailed, practical and engaging session. And on behalf of all of us, we really thank you for this session, and I request all the members to also give a loud round of applause.
Thank you very much. Just 1 minute. There was one question important, TDS on exempt income. From this year ITR में जब आप TDS का जो part है, where you select capital gains, other sources, in that there is also one head exempt income. So you select exempt income. Secondly, in income from other sources, simple example, hardship compensation पे कभी-कभी builders deduct TDS, but you don't have to pay tax on that. So in TDS section you select exempt. In exempt income also there is one head, receipt not in nature of income. You select that and you put that figure. So that thing. And second thing, CGS. It is not a practice hack, but CGS में yesterday the learned speaker told, maybe the mistake in the act. CGS में ऐसे लिखा हुआ है, if you are not buying anything and you are investing in, or you are putting that amount in capital gains account scheme, you put that amount in capital gains account scheme as per the section 263 it is written. Earlier में वो 139(1) था. 139(1) का मतलब होता है ओरिजिनल रिटर्न का टाइम, और 263(1) इज ओरिजिनल रिटर्न का टाइम. बट 263 कवर्स ओरिजिनल, बिलेटेड, अपडेटेड एवरीथिंग. मे बी ये गलती उनसे एक्ट में रह गया है, लेकिन इफ यू वांट टू टेक द बेनिफिट, इट मींस अगर आपने 31 जुलाई तक कैपिटल गेन्स में पैसा नहीं डाला, आप 29 दिसंबर को भी डालोगे और बिलेटेड रिटर्न भर दोगे तो भी आपको बेनिफिट मिलेगा. ये लेना नहीं लेना आपका कॉल है, बट दिस इज द मिस्टेक इट इन द एक्ट. So just please take a note of it. Thank you very much.